Have you ever wondered what multi-factor authentication is and why it's important? Well, let's dive in. Multi-factor authentication, or MFA, is a security system that verifies a user's identity using multiple validation methods. These methods come from different categories of credentials, each independent from the other. Think of it as a high-tech version of showing your ID when you vote or use a credit card. MFA is like a fortress. It's not enough for a trespasser to just cross the moat. They also need to scale the walls, bypass the guards, and unlock the door. In the realm of cybersecurity, MFA is this fortress. It's a layered defense system that makes it incredibly difficult for unauthorized users to gain access. So the next time you're logging in and you're asked for more than just your password, remember, you're not being hassled. You're being protected. The implementation of MFA could mean the difference between keeping your online assets secure and a devastating security breach. So why is multi-factor authentication so important? In today's digital world, merely relying on passwords isn't enough. Passwords can be guessed, stolen, or even hacked. This is where multi-factor authentication, or MFA, comes into play. It adds an extra layer of protection to your online accounts, making it harder for unauthorized users to access your data. Think of MFA as a security guard that checks multiple forms of identification before allowing you access. It's like a fortress, where each layer of protection is another wall that potential cyber attackers must scale. MFA could be the difference between keeping your data secure or falling victim to a cyber attack. In a nutshell, MFA is a critical tool in the fight against cybercrime. It's not just about keeping your personal information safe, it's about safeguarding your digital identity. With the rise of cyber threats, the importance of MFA cannot be overstated. MFA is not only about keeping your personal information safe, but it's about safeguarding your digital identity. You might be wondering, how does multi-factor authentication work? Well, it's all about verifying your identity through different factors. Let's break it down. First, there's something you know, which is typically a password or a PIN. This is the most common form of authentication. It's something that you've memorized and can provide when prompted. Next, we have something you have. This could be a physical object like a smart card, a security token, or even your smartphone. The idea is that you possess something that can be used to verify your identity. Lastly, there's something you are. This involves unique personal attributes like your fingerprint, retina scan, or voice recognition. This type of authentication is becoming increasingly popular with the rise of biometric technology. Each of these factors provides a different layer of security. By requiring multiple of these methods, multi-factor authentication makes it significantly more difficult for unauthorized users to gain access to your information. Each method adds a layer of security, making it more difficult for unauthorized users to gain access to your information. But wait, there's more to multi-factor authentication than just the three main types. We also have methods such as location-based and adaptive or risk-based authentication. Location-based authentication is a method where your geographical location becomes a factor in the authentication process. It's as if the system is saying, "Hey, I recognize you're logging in from a new location. Let's make sure it's really you." On the other hand, adaptive authentication, also known as risk-based authentication, takes a more dynamic approach. It analyzes a variety of risk factors like the time of access, the device used, and even your behavior patterns. If there's an unusual pattern, the system might require additional verification steps. These methods provide an even higher level of security by adjusting to the situation. They're like your personal bodyguard, constantly adapting to keep potential threats at bay. With these advanced MFA methods, your online security becomes more dynamic and adaptable to potential threats. Finally, let's delve into the world of cloud computing. How does multi-factor authentication fit in? Well, the beauty of cloud computing is that it allows us to access data and services from anywhere in the world. But with this convenience comes an increased risk of unauthorized access and potential data breaches. That's where multi-factor authentication steps in. In the cloud computing environment, MFA acts as a robust security measure, adding an extra layer of protection. It requires users to authenticate their identities through multiple methods before they can access the cloud services. This could be something they know, like a password, something they have, like a smartphone, or something they are, like a fingerprint. By implementing MFA, cloud service providers can significantly reduce the risk of unauthorized access, even if a password or device is compromised. It's a bit like having a series of doors. each with a different lock, standing between a potential intruder and your precious data. In the realm of cloud computing, multi-factor authentication serves as a crucial line of defense against unauthorized access and potential data breaches.